All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Monday evening or afternoon or maybe even later part of the world. Evening for those of you the other side of the pond. Good to have you on here. My name is Leroy. I'm your host. I'm going to be going through some information that was shared with me maybe 3 months ago now, and it has been truly life-changing. As you see here, it says the opportunity of a lifetime has arrived. I personally believe it is a product of a lifetime that has arrived. And so we're going to be touching base on things to do with health. We're also going to be touching them on a bit of the finances side because we want to make sure you have a balanced life that can support your longevity, and without having money to go with it, it can be a challenge. I'm sure you will agree, right? So let's talk about the reason why we're here primarily. We know in today's society, 21st century living, the foods that we're eating is having a massive impact on our lives, on our bodies. And as a result of that, we are seeing record scores of people with poor health, unfortunately. And they're surrounding me, and I'm sure they're surrounding you. And there's something we can do about it, okay? And it's such a phenomenal thing that something I was ignoring for many a year, which was basically drinking water. Okay, so we're going to be talking about something so straightforward to do, and the profound effects of if you have the right product in your water. Because like most things, if you look at that diagram on the right, even you get your greens, you go to the supermarket and you spend all your money and you're thinking you're getting a really good product. At the end of the day, it's being sprayed to death with pesticides. The soil is depleted. It's all more about margins for the companies more than product quality for the consumer. And so the stuff on the left, you could call it junk food, fast food, whatever you want. I spent many a days eating this food, and I still do from time to time. But it has an impact on your bodies, my friend. And the more you have this stuff, is the more you're going to contribute to a big massive problem that we have, like I said, in 21st century living. Okay, processed foods and things that go with it is a major problem. I'm sure you will agree. So ideally, we would like to have all the colors of the rainbow on our plate. We have all these greens, we have all these beautiful colors, and ideally having enough fruit and veg. Growing up, I was always told to eat more fruit and veg. And it was a real struggle growing up. I didn't want the greens and all that kind of stuff. Of course, my elders knew better. They knew they needed to give me the nutrients that my body needs. And regardless of my own preference of going for stuff that didn't look like that, they knew I needed to have the nutrients from these products. All right. So that's the ideal scenario. So again, we're going to be talking about balance. Yeah, I'm not no medical professional. I'm just a regular person who knows enough to know that I need to be eating better and exercising and all that kind of stuff. But the stuff that we know we should do, we typically don't do until there's a problem. So we don't want that. We do not want a problem to be knocking our doors before we take action. Now, this gentleman recognized almost 100 years ago that there was an issue. And for him to do a thesis on the primary cause and prevention of cancer over 100 years ago was something in itself, right? So back in 1931, this gentleman here, Otto Heinrich Warburg, in his work, he says here, the metabolism of tumors. And he demonstrated that all forms, did I say some? Did I say 10? Did I say 20? No, all forms of cancer develop due to two basic conditions: acidosis, which is acidity of the blood, and hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen. Okay, and so you saw today, my friends, on the flyer I put out there was, is your water got oxygen? Okay, just like we need oxygen, our body, guess what? Our cells need oxygen, right? So we're going to be talking about that. So can you imagine, my friends, he spoke about this 100 years ago. Do you think that this is still a major problem in today's society? Yeah. If you disagree, let me know. Put in the chat. I believe we are seeing scores of what we call it, tumors, cancer, people dying way before their time, and there's many different things we're going to go into in an hour on this call, but there's many different reasons why this is a major problem in 21st century. And I obviously alluded to some of that, some of the lifestyle, the food choices and things like that. But acidity of the blood and lack of oxygen is a major deal, my friend. So he says here, not me, he says this: cancerous tissues are acidic tissues, healthy ones are alkaline tissues. He could be saying this, and this thesis and this picture could be done in 2026 and it would not be out of place. In fact, we're paying more attention to that because we know this is a major issue. So why did he talk about that? And why am I showing you this? Well, this image is the effects of what we call free radicals. My little pun is not a rap group, but no, something that takes place inside of you, right? So a free radical is an isolated oxygen atom. Remember that word there, oxygen atom. And too much of that, it becomes harmful, okay? It becomes a major problem to your bodies. We're going to show you the after effects of what happens when you have too many free radicals running around in your body. Now, again, we're going back many years before some of you wasn't even a thought in your parents' eyes. You was not even, around to know about this. But this was documented back in 1954, where you can see on the video here, cell oxygenation that's taking place. That's mean oxygen in your cells. And if you don't have it, you're going to have an image that's on the right. Okay. Now, throughout this presentation, you might see a theme here. The things I show on the right may not be necessarily the best outcomes you want to have for you, right? So ideally, the stuff on the left is how you want your body to be looking. Okay. Now, of course, we do not have a magnifying glass or and that can zoom in to below our skin. The nearest we're going to know what's going on is when we have to get our bloods done, and then the doctors tell us, oh yeah, this and that, right? But we know our body's telling us something, okay? And we're going to talk about this. This is telling us something. If you are of a certain age and your body is not showing that, there could be, obviously, more 9 times out of 10, there's some form of dehydration taking place, some kind of health challenge. Wrinkling of the skin, dryness, and, for those of you who were on at the beginning, I was playing a video by Dr. Batman, we call him. I'll talk a bit more about him in a minute, because he literally opened up my eyes to all of this decades ago. And, we don't want premature aging, we don't want lines, wrinkles. And the first thing we look at when we get up in the morning, guess what? It's our face, right? Our face is going to let us know what's going on. You see those dark patches on your eyes? It's telling you something, right? You see pimples pumping out your face when you're past puberty ages. Your body's telling you something, right? It's like, what's going on here? So it's all going to come to the surface, my friends. And so we want to have, ideally, the image on the left as opposed to image on the right. If you are a certain age, and you know that for your age, you shouldn't really be looking anywhere close to the image on the right. Okay, so ideally, how can we deal with this? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked me. We're going to show you how we can reduce acidity and free radicals in our body. And it's more easy than you think, my friends. Okay, it's so easy. I'm going to play you a short video that's going to really warm you up to what I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay, so we're going to talk about the chemical reaction that takes place in magnetized water. I'll be back in.
When we are thirsty, we fill a glass with tap water or drink some water from a plastic bottle. After all, water is water, right? Magnetized water is popular in Japan. But before we get to know its properties, it is important to understand how and what happens to magnetized water. If you take some water to analyze, you will notice that its molecules are disordered. This is because of the minerals. When submitted to magnetic fields, the molecules turn back into their normal state, which makes the water more beneficial to our health since it heightens the energetic balance of the body and strengthens the immune system in general. That's why magnetized water helps prevent many diseases of the human body. Did you know that more than 70% of our bodies are formed by water? We need to replenish water to eliminate toxins from the body, hydrate tissues and cells, help the kidneys, facilitate blood flow, to fight bloating and boost immunity. Some of the benefits of magnetized water are helps in nutrition and hydration of cells, aids in cell cleanse, reduces blood acidity and the excess of free radicals in the body, increases the oxygen in cells and blood, makes the hair softer, moisturizes the skin, leaving it soft and healthy, aids in the prevention of many diseases, lowers blood sugar levels, preventing diabetes, helps prevent many types of cancer, reduces the risk of osteoporosis and fractures by increasing the bone density and bone resistance, avoids premature aging, increases energy levels. According to studies published by the National Institutes of Health, USA, drinking magnetized water means more quality of life. If you already knew about magnetized water, tell us what you think.
My friends, I love that. So many benefits there, and you don't need to have one of those voiceovers after the video to say, you know, you see these adverts, especially in North America, and they really quickly talk about the side effects that if you take, you know, this pharmaceutical product, it may cause this, it may cause blindness, it may cause... And it's like, what did you say? Let me rewind that. So guys, we're talking about something natural here. No side effects. Something that you can take with you, and regardless of your age, is not going to be a problem to your body. In fact, you're going to find you're going to be wanting more of this more than ever. Now, my friends, I'm going to talk to you from somebody who was not drinking the levels of water I knew I should be drinking. So now that I know this, and I can understand why I'm having so many benefits, is because what I'm going to share with you in the next couple of minutes. So, excuse me, I'm going to reiterate some of the things you may have watched on the video. The chemical reaction of water when super magnetized is known as water hydrolysis. Now, I knew about magnetized water, and there's scores of companies out there that do magnetized water. What makes this one different than those? Stick with us to the end of the Zoom and you'll know that answer for yourself. So H2O, which we know is water, dissociates into OH minus and H plus. Okay, basically hydrogen ions against hydroxide ions. Man, sometimes I get my teeth around that one. So you're going to have this effect that takes place, right? You're going to see this clusters of water. If you can see what's going on in your water, you'll see these clusters are taking place. Okay, this is what happens. We're going to add something to the mix, my friend. Talking about minerals. I spoke earlier about minerals being absent from soil, from the foods we get. You know, we need to be adding it to our diet. So this product I'm going to be sharing with you allows that to take place. So when you minerals found in water, it reacts to the hydroxide ions, and you're going to have this alkaline basis taking place. Now, remember at the top of the meeting, I said, the two things, well, not even me, this gentleman, Otto Weinberg, said two things. We want our bodies to be more acidic or more alkaline. I don't know. Was anybody listening? Did he want it to be more acidic or alkaline? Does anybody know? Answers on a postcard. Put it in the chat if you think you know what he said. Second thing he said was, does he want our bodies to have oxygen or lack of? Okay? So if you remember what he was saying, he said, we want it to be alkaline. One thing I knew and started to learn about many years ago, unfortunately, when my cousin passed away from cancer, I started to really go on this journey of understanding what happened and about tumours and things of that nature. And that brought me into learning about your body's many cries for water, which is a phenomenal piece of work that I'm going to briefly talk about a bit later on. So you're going to have this calcium and magnesium being added to the mix. And this is what happens. When consuming magnetized water, it reduces the body's acidity. Okay? So tick that box that has been ticked. We want our body to be less acidic. Okay? Because a lot of the times we are so acidic, you know, it's causing a problem. So yes, Gene, there you go. So yes, we want our bodies to be as much alkaline as we can. If I said the wrong thing, slap me. So let's look at this. H2O dissociates into OH minus and H plus. Remember what we spoke about, free radicals, having too many free radicals, excessive running in our bodies. I remember years ago, you know, the slogan was an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? I think we're talking about a lot more apples are needed in today's world. in order to keep the doctors away. So again, remember that free radicals that's running around in our body causing all sorts of problems to our cells that we cannot see, but we can see the after effect. Well, what happens is when you drink the water, the hydrogen ions react with the excess free radicals in your body, forming water. So there you go. You've got H2O now being created, free radicals getting neutralized as a result of that, just by doing what I'm going to show you, what you saw briefly in the video with what we have with magnetized water. So this is really a gift, my friends, to you, especially if you've never tried this before. All right, so I'm going to talk a bit more about that. So obviously, if you didn't know, you saw it on the video, and now you know our bodies are made up of over 70% water. In fact, if you look at your organs, you look at your brain, it's water. It needs water. You know, a lot of times we feel we may get a headache, and some people reach for the pharmaceutical product and trying to just numb that, but your body just want more water. Maybe lacking out. Maybe you've drank a load of coffee first thing you got up, rather than drinking water to replenish what you lost throughout the night. Could be. I'm just saying. And your different organs are going to need water. So if it's not getting it, your body's going to try and find it some way, somehow. It's just the way it works. So you need to give it, otherwise your body's going to try and get it. And this is the result. Now, again, I wasn't the guy drinking for my body weight, wasn't drinking enough water. They say if you're up to 50 kg, you should be drinking at least 2 liters of water. Over 50 kg, and again, based on your body size, it's in proportion to that, right? So I wasn't drinking that much. I was barely drinking 1.5 on a good day, maybe 2 liters when I was, maybe really felt parched. I was, maybe working out or something. So I definitely wasn't the guy drinking enough water, and I felt the results of that. Now, check this out. What this doctor here, Dr. Laya Ribeiro, he mentioned here, water determines disease, water determines health, appropriate adequate water restores health, ionized water hydrates, alkalizes, antioxidizes, and detoxifies. Water can be used as medicine. Well, how about that? Water being used as medicine. Now, we spoke about oxygen, hydration, water that does the job, okay? Now, you could be the person drinking way better than me, drinking your recommended amount of water, and you're still not feeling hydrated. You're still feeling lethargic. You're like, what's going on? There must be something not right with me. No, there's everything could be right with you. It could just be the fact. Could it be the fact? Dare I throw this out there? Your water is not hydrating you. Could that be the case? Something so simple like that? And you could be spending good money buying a really nice bottle of water, whatever you have in your house. If you've got filtered water, fantastic. It's a great way of getting rid of all of the nastiness that's in water in the first place. But we're going to show you, my friends, we're going to go deeper than that, because to be honest, I've not seen anything like this. I'm going to save it for when we talk about testimonials, and hopefully we'll have some people who want to share how they felt after being on this. And all I can do is speak from myself. I'm here for educational purposes and maybe entertainment purposes. If you laugh at my jokes, then it's all good. So again, this is the image we're talking about. We don't want what we're seeing on the right. Okay, remember what I was saying? The image is on the right. What we see on the left is water, clear, oxygenated. You can see there's bubbles, there's life. All right. If you had a fish tank that you spent all this good money on, you would want it looking like that, right? You wouldn't want it be looking like the one on the right. Okay, that looks like neglect. That looks like, wow, I don't love these fish. And the worst thing could be, if we could, peek inside your body, could your cells be swimming in acidic water as opposed to alkaline? Are your cells in that situation? Okay, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But if it is, there's something you can obviously do about it, like, straight away. And so that's the great thing. This is not something that I'm here to say, wow, if you don't get this product, then wow, you're going to be like this. No, we're just taking a real proper look at what happens when you have too many acidic foods, drinks, carbonated, sugary drinks. It plays a part on your overall health, as you could imagine. So we want water to be moving, flowing. Okay, that's how water should be, right? When we go to anywhere, whether it's Niagara Falls or Dunn's River Falls or any falls, we want to be there because it feels that life. We feel it. It's lovely, and it's if we can get our water in a flowing state like that, it should be moving, my friends. Shouldn't be dead sitting in a warehouse. When I go and pick up my water, I picked up a couple of water bottles just before the meeting, and when I pick up these big jugs of water, they're sitting, I don't know how long they're sitting in a warehouse for, but I have to dust them off. I have to spray it down, clean it. I mean, it's been collecting dust. God knows how long it's been there by the time we get it into our homes and then we drink it, okay? Don't know all the elements that have hit it. And then we want to get the best out of the water. Again, we have to do something to make it, drinkable. So I'm going to touch this short video, again, a couple of minutes video. Give me time to try and find my book. And then I want you to just pay attention to how this product that we're going to introduce you to works with your everyday water and why it's such a game changer. So let's...
First, the water that most people drink has lost its original structural characteristics from when it was alive in nature. In springs, streams, and rivers, water is constantly moving. This favors its oxygenation, in addition to its structure being composed of small molecules, which increases its hydration power in the body. When water is stored or kept in containers, its surface tension is altered. Thus it becomes much heavier, with the formation of large molecule clusters, which are completely disorganized and lose oxygen. This molecular change compromises the penetration of water into cells that form organ tissues. But the original characteristics of water, so necessary for a good cellular hydration, can be restored. This is where magnetic treatment comes in. When water is subjected to a magnetic field, an event called hydrolysis occurs, which means breaking up of water. That is, the movement caused by the molecules causes a rupture of the clusters and promotes rearrangement into much smaller structures. Thus, these H2O molecules penetrate the cells much more easily, promoting better cellular hydration and cleaning. The second point, observed in the various studies carried out with magnetized water, is that it contributes to a reduction of excess of free radicals. How does this happen? When water undergoes magnetic treatment, there is an ionic dissociation, that is, the H2O water molecule, formed by 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, breaks up, releasing hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. Excess free radicals that are present in the body are negative ions, and they combine with hydrogen ions, forming new H2O molecules, thus removing them from the body. This is a very simple chemical equation that has been observed by several researchers. The third point is about the contribution to the maintenance of blood alkalinity, helping the mechanisms of our body. In hydrolysis, as we have seen, there are negative hydroxyl ions left over. This hydroxyl reacts with magnesium and calcium ions present in vital environments of our body, forming alkaline hydroxyls, in this case magnesium and calcium hydroxyls. These reactions help in the maintenance of blood pH and oxygen content. It is for all these reasons that water treated magnetically helps in the maintenance of good health.
He always catches me out because I'm expecting him to keep talking, but that's the dubbing for you. So, okay, let's go. So, as he was talking about this chemical reaction that takes place, as we spoke about earlier, we want to get ourselves in a hydrated state of well-being, right? So, if you can see on the left, you've got the cell entry point, and this is where we want to take in everything the water is, we're getting from our water, ideally, right? So, the nutrients, the oxygen, the hydration, we want to get it all in our cells, right? So this is typically what happens if you follow along with me. When you click on when you see there, you'll see that we have the clusters at the top. This is water that has not been magnetically treated. You've got this hard water full of clusters, and it prevents, if you look now, you can see that it's preventing all of what is in there going into your cells. Right, so that's where you have that bottleneck effect, and it's not getting penetration. You know, it's barely getting, you know, any full hydration, barely partial. Okay, so when you have magnetized water taking place, you've got this effect that takes place. It goes in without any problem. It's been broken down. The molecules have been broken down, which is why before I even had a chance to try this for myself, I kept hearing from across the pond people saying, "Oh man, this water is so light and refreshing," and I'm like, "Really?" You know, and I'm like, "Okay, let me get my hands on it, and I'll see for myself." And now I'm the guy saying, "Oh my gosh, this water is so light and refreshing." It truly is. And so the magnetization breaks up the clusters, decreasing the water hardness and promoting hydration and nutrition of the cells. This is what we want, okay? This is what we're here for, is understanding why we're not being hydrated enough and what we can do about it. So this company Timol, which you're learning about tonight, they have brought our product to the market that does exactly what it says on the tin, right? It helps alkalize the blood, reduces excess free radicals, improves oxygenation, okay? And as a result of that, good and healthy life is our main goal. So it's in, you know, it's in reach of everybody, but not everybody knows about it, because this isn't a company that is putting their products on the shelves for people to, you know, buy it. So we share this in a format like this so that people can get educated about it, and secondly try it for themselves and have hopefully a great experience that you're going to hear from other people have today. So you're going to understand this. There's a name called Timol. This is a product brand from this company, and this technology you can search for. You can research it on your own terms. We'll talk about places where you can go to do that. But they've had clinically tests. This is not on trial, by the way. This has been going for over 2 decades of testimonials, and people have had phenomenal results as a result. In fact, so much so, 10 years into the company being formed, which was back in 2004, they received this certification, which is basically in every product that people get. And so one thing I've known about, and I always look for whenever I get involved in something, is there any documentation to back up, to accentuate what you're telling me? And there is. There's a lot of information we'll talk about. But this in itself was really key. I just want to read a few lines from this, because this is where this kind of separates this company from a lot of other companies out there. And so let me just read this. It says, in favor of those who have a scientific basis adopted by the international health community, mainly by the World Health Organization, officially declares the recognition of the suitability of the Brazilian company Timol Ltda as the only one complying with the standards and requirements of this institution of adopting a system or method of magnetic water treatment or correction as a system or method of health, protection and recovery with scientifically proven efficiency. So there you have it. You've got, you know, third party documentation clarifying what we're talking about. So this is one of the products that you're going to be introduced to. This is the larger size. This is a domestic product, so you can have it in your home. Timol Combo Mega. All right. So this one will treat up to 20 liters of water. So you don't necessarily have to have 20 liters, but it will treat up to 20 liters. And one thing that I couldn't get my head around when I first heard this, it was really confusing me. The blue one is a magnet, okay? That's where you get the magnetized water going on, and my alarm's going off. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, let me restart the share. So I think we've had a couple more people join us. So welcome guys for joining us. I tell you what, even if there was a fire, I'll have to think twice about using my magnetized water. That's how I'll have to find some other water if there was a fire, trust me. So let's go back to the meeting. Right. There we go. So, come on. All right, here we go. So yeah, so I'm going to just repeat what I said. Timol Combo Mega. This is Timol's Super Magnetizer and Mineralizer. So the effects, as I mentioned, of magnetized water: alkalinization of the blood and your body, increase in bone mineral mass, increase in blood oxygenation, and increase in minerals in water by top H+. So you've got the magnet, the blue one, that lasts 20, I was going to shortcut it, that lasts 30 years, that product, the magnet, the blue magnet. The green one is the minerals, and that lasts 3 years. So this is a product that you're going to need to replace next month or even next year. Set in your calendar 3 years from now and see how your minerals are doing. I'd love to really check in with everybody 3 years later from taking this product, because we've got people who've been on this product for years and their testimonial has been, you know, pretty staggering. So we've got that. Now, like I said, this one will treat up to 20 liters. We do have a mini version and it does exactly the same. It has the same lifespan product, but it will treat up to 3 liters. Okay, so if you're on the go a lot, you can have it in your water bottle, and you know, something like that. I have it in a water bottle that treats about to 2 liters of water at a time. And so, you know, you've got many different ways you can put it in your for application purposes, and you know, utilize it in that manner. So it just depends on how you want to go about it, right? That's your way of doing things. Now, this product is, again, it's out there. You can do your research, search for Timol on YouTube. You may find a lot of the videos maybe in Portuguese. We do have now English speaking testimonials, because the company's been primarily in Brazil for over 18 years, and so it's now winging its way outside of Brazil. Before I introduce you to the guy on the slides who made this all possible, I found my book. Again, you may not be able to see it too good, but Your Body's Many Cries for Water. See, they both were blue. And this doctor here, as I started the Zoom on, he was talking about why so many people, and talking about millions, and this book is going back 30 years, easy, and why our bodies eventually cry out in protest. So the things I'm talking about, and again, I'm not here to make health claims, but this is what he's talking about, and this is the same things that we are seeing in massive improvements in when bodies eventually cry out painfully in protest. We call these desperate thirst signals. And he's talking about asthma, diabetes, arthritis, angina, obesity, Alzheimer's, high cholesterol, hypertension, amongst other maladies. Okay, amazing. And the mere fact is, he was in an overcrowded Tehran prison, right? Check this out. In 1979, and in desperation, he prescribed the only medication available for over 3,000 inmates, which were literally dying of acute stomach pain, was a glass of water. Now, those were extreme conditions. Could you imagine that? Something that we have access to, and if you were like me, didn't like the taste of water, so I was struggling to drink water, you're going to love what this product does to the water. Okay? So, this gentleman here, Carlos Henrique, if I get a chance to, you know, meet him in Brazil one of these days, I will, you know, shake this man's hand. You know, he's created something that has really been a game changer for me and so many other people. So his whole thing was this. For those of you who don't know, he invested money. People, you know, like, are you losing your mind? Like, you believe so much in this magnetized water. He was selling off his businesses and things of that nature to fund it. Okay, so you know, he knowing the dangers of consuming poor quality water over long periods, Mr. Carlos Henrique Pereira de Silva founded Timol in 2004 with a mission in mind: to provide health and quality of life for people through high quality water that truly hydrates. He has done that. This is 22 years later. He's absolutely done that. In fact, I do need to update the slides. Now, we were introduced to his daughter, who's now part of the company, and his son-in-law, and you know, we had a chance to hear from corporate, and it's great to see the legacy is alive, and they really want to grow this company and this outside of Brazil, which is thanks to people like Simone and Natalia and Augusta. You know, it's spreading outside of English, into these English speaking countries. So 22 years now it's been around. There's, like I said, certification there of integrity. Headquarters in Brazil. It's a real bona fide business, and you can go on Google Scholar, not your normal Google Scholar, and you'll find articles published talking about this and all the things that have gone on. So yeah, like we said, it's expanding throughout the globe, many countries around the world. All right. Now, important, my friends, as I just want to reiterate, if you've not said it already, I'm no medical professional. I'm here for, entertainment purposes, educational, if that. Timol is not intended to cure diseases, but rather to magnetize water. Pure and simple. Okay? Magnetized water will be an adjunct in health treatment and will improve your quality of life by reducing acidity and free radicals in the body. My friends, get your body in a state where you're getting rid of this things that I mentioned, and then we can see what the body does. Okay, so we're gonna spend some couple of minutes hearing from some people. Hopefully, we want to share what the product's done for them, with some testimonials. I'm gonna just start by just showing you like the wide array of testimonials we've had. I mean, there's thousands of testimonials. This company's been going around for 22 years. There's thousands of testimonials, but this one here just really kind of blows me away because of the severity of vertigo. It's not something that is easy to deal with, and yet this gentleman here, and there is a video that goes with it in Portuguese about what helped him and how this product helped him go in that situation there. So if you guys, anyone want to share, just feel free to raise your hands. We'll come to you and we'll hear anything if you want to share on the call. This gentleman here is, again, real bad skin condition. Don't know exactly what the cause was, but for his skin to be cleaned up to such a degree, pretty amazing. I know one of the ladies in the business was just sharing how this product has helped her, and with something on her skin as well. So it's amazing. You might get this product thinking, and because some people say to me, "Oh, Leroy, would this be good for this? I've got gallstone, bladder, this, that, whatever." Guess what? Your body needs water. Give it water and give it this water, and then just see for yourself how that feels for you. I'm not here to try and diagnose anything to anyone, but I just know the benefits of drinking water and hydrating yourselves and getting rid of too much acid that's in the body. I just know that is a good thing, and I know having too many free radicals in your body is also not a good thing. So if this helps in that, God knows what else, the knock-on effect. You know what, for me, my pain in my hip, I had this pain in my hip that had been going on for the longest time, and I have gone to the chiropractor, gone to physio, try and get rid of this pain or get to the root of it. Sometimes it'll be so bad I literally have to stop, and so if I'm church, for example, I'll have to literally sit down and then just like wait it out a bit, and then I'm good again. It was so ingrained in my hip, and the last trip I took to London, I took this product and I started to drink it for myself. Didn't know exactly if it was going to do that. I just knew I weren't drinking enough water, period. And so it got me drinking enough water, because now I can't put the thing down. It's in my hands almost 24/7. When I'm sleeping, the only time I'm not drinking is when I'm sleeping, right? And I've got to make sure I cut off, before I sleep, otherwise I'll be up all night. But it's amazing, the difference. And as a result, I feel so good in my hip, it's crazy. So with that, I'm gonna hand over to Harold. I know you wanna. You've got your hand raised up there, so yeah, if you can come on down. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Oh well. First of all, I'd say, well, I can't stop thanking this product, because my personal testimony, I got involved about 4 5 weeks ago, and I experienced 3 different types of testimonies. One, when I first got it, I was on a weekend excursion with a dance weekend in is it Boca Regis, and I was at the hotel. I had some food. It was really upset my stomach. That's the first time I was actually started drinking my 2 liters of this, right? And let me tell you something. It really detoxed my body. It flushed me out, really. Right? So much the fact that I felt good after. Even my sister, my niece said the same thing. Ooh, a bit. But the second testimony I had was I suffer with once a month for the year, every year for the last 5 years. When it comes to March, I get, I don't like saying hay fever, it lasts 1 month, but hay fever. Itchy eyes, sore eyes, I rub them all the time. They literally sore, red sore. And my family keeps saying, stop rubbing your eyes, stop rubbing your eyes. What I did, I got the spray bottle, I put the water in it, I sprayed my eyes. The whole of March, not one sore, I wasn't red, wasn't rubbing my eyes at all. This alone, this water here. And the third testimonial was I also do voluntary. I drive for a young football team. I took them to my favorite club, Chelsea's academy. Chelsea, anyway, and and because of the long distance driving, I thought to myself, I won't drink this because I do go to the toilet quite a lot. So I thought I won't drink the water for a little while. I didn't realize the next day I went to the post office. I had a serious migraine. I thought, why have I got a migraine? And I drinking water. Why have I got a migraine? I suddenly realized I hadn't drank my water for the whole day and a half because obviously I put the one aside, I forgot about it. So I got home and I literally drank my water, right? And within 15 minutes, because I went to my friend's house, the migraine disappeared. Now I know when I'm dehydrated and I get a migraine, it takes about 2.5 hours for it to get back to normal. It did it in 15 minutes. The migraine went. Now, again, testimony for a personal friend of mine. Um, she told me that she died in the hospital with stage 4 breast cancer. I went, oh my gosh, no. Let me contact Natalia, because Natalia, you'll hear from Natalia, she's one of the leaders here. Her testimony has made changes because obviously you might have heard her story. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, left in the hospital to die, really. And she drank the actual water and it changed her life. And all the nurses as well drank it. So I said, let me contact Natalia. Went to Natalia to get my unit. And I rang Charmaine from Natalia's house. Natalia spoke to Charmaine, my friend, because she's gone through the cancer. And when she's spoken to my friend was in tears. And she said, Harold will go down tomorrow to the hospital and bring you your device. I went to IKEA, bought a 5 liter glass container to put the water in. I charged up 5 liters for her, treated it, put in the hospital, said, right, this is your water, you're drinking this. And she sat there because she was like really zombified because all the drugs were given her, couldn't move. And 2 cousins were by her bedside. One of them goes, oh, I don't drink water, I only drink fizzy water. I said to her, fizzy water is acid. I said, nurse, can I have 3 cups, please? So I gave both the cousins a cup of water and I attended to my friend. And after half an hour, because she's on the drip, she said, I noticed some, oh, he's obviously passing urine. She goes, apologies about the smell, everybody, because obviously now detoxing. And the friend who didn't drink water said, I like this, can I have another cup? This person doesn't drink coffee at all. The next day now, I ran to the hospital, couldn't get hold of my friend. I got worried. What happened to her? What happened to her? Anyway, she ran me the next day. She said to me, Harold, I've been going to the toilet regularly. I'm moving around and I feel like I've got my life back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she rang me yesterday while I was in Birmingham and she said, I'm coming out of hospital this week. And she said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's why it's actually tears of emotion because my friend, she's actually going through stuff and the water's helping her go through the process. And then my last thing is that we actually was in Birmingham for the weekend. We had there's an event going on and we had our stall there. I was promoting this water and I've got myself a big 10 liter filter and we was giving water out, about 90 cups of water. And let me tell you something, right? It's like I'm giving out sweets. Everyone said, no one said they didn't like it. Everyone said, oh, that's nice, it's nice, nice. And one lady said this to me. I should have to record it. She said, this water tastes like spring water in the mountains. She's from Jamaica. She goes, this water tastes like water from the spring in the mountains. I went, wow, that's a test. That's that. I really wish I recorded that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a fun day, and all the vendors loved it. Then and we had people like, yep, it's just game changer. So this product is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So yeah, please, thanks, Leroy.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it, man. That's fantastic. Thanks very much for sharing that. Yeah, just like you, I was speaking to my auntie, and she was saying that she's in pain and stuff like that. I've not spoken to her in a while. She said, yeah, she's got this and that. And I said, all right, hold on, I'm coming. So I'm going to be making a trip later today. And while I'm in the area, I'm going to catch up with a couple of people and give them a sample of the product as well. It is really exceptional what we have in our hands for sure. So if there's anyone else that wanted to share, please put out your hands, let us know. And otherwise,
yes, Leroy.
Continue. Yeah, yes.
Hi, Leroy.
Yes, hi.
All right. Yeah, thank you. So,
yeah.
Good evening. Thank you so much for your amazing presentation. My name is Glenn. I've been drinking the water almost 90 days, already starting in January. When I started, so in a month before, that was December, that was Christmas, New Year, we used to eat a lot of junk food. I was suffering from stomach pain. So when I started the beginning of January, I was drinking the water. Within 2 days, stomach pain was gone. And I went after a week. I went out, but I discovered that I can see because I wear glasses. I said, how come I see much better? But it's the water. As I put in my face, I spread it. So my eyesight improved a lot. Amazing until now, still improving. Also, each year I suffer from hay fever. If anybody here suffer from hay fever, this water is amazing. My hay fever each year, like this time of the year, it triggers asthma. It's very, very bad. Itchy eyes, sneezing. But this year, I'm so happy I'm free. Free from hay fever. I couldn't believe it. So this water, I cook with it, make tea, coffee. I spray on my face. If you have itchy skin, just put it. It's gone. Dry skin, but you have to drink like 2 liters a day. 2.2 liter, depends on your body weight. So this thing is going to change your life, guys. If you're new here, try do whatever you can. Get this work. We made of 70% of water. So what is water is doing? Because my background is nursing, working in hospital for many years. But I was shocked what it's doing. So I'm drinking every day. First in the morning, 2 cups. But thank you. That's what's my testimony. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bless.
Yes, Glenn, thanks very much. That's a powerful testimony, man. I love it. I love it. Just being able to use this product and tick off so many different boxes there. Sharon, so we go to the ladies first. Sharon, so you have your hand up. Do you want to come on down? The floor is yours.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This testimony I should have given a long time because I've already told Leroy about it. But I was just trying to build up the courage to come and talk about it. I've been taking this product since the end of February. I went to Egypt. I did not want to leave London without it. So Glenn was so nice. He brought it to me so I could take it to Egypt with me. When I came back from Egypt, before Egypt, I had this thick skin just by my ankle. And this was for about 2.5 years. And I've been trying to get this thing off my foot, and I just could not get rid of it. I've tried olive oil, I tried aloe vera, I tried everything, and I just could not get rid of it. 2 weeks into using the water, when I came back from England, I just rubbed my foot, and the crust just fell off my foot, just like that. It just fell right off. I was amazed.
Wow.
And this is something that I've been trying to get rid of for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Another thing I saw as well, my kettle. I've been using my kettle since I came back from Egypt, the end on the third of March, and I have not cleaned my kettle since. I live in a very hard water area in London, East London, and I would have to clean my kettle every week or probably sometime week and a half. And let me tell you, since I've been using that kettle and I came back on the 3rd of March, I have not seen any lamb scale. I don't have to use I don't have to clean my kettle since I've been using it. So it also got rid of the lime scale. And I tell you something, if it was only to get rid of the lime scale out of my kettle, I would have bought this product just for that. So that is how much I like this product.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a new one. So I love that one. That's why I love these
Yes,
calls, man.
check your kettle. Check the kettle and see the difference.
Yeah. Well, people got hard water for sure. Yeah, I love that. Love that. That's great. Fantastic. And thanks for sharing. And we'll go to B. B, you got your hand up. You want to come on down? If you're on camera, feel free to
Hello.
come on. Hey.
Yeah. Hello. I want to introduce myself. I am the lady Riro. You register me with Kiddy.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I received my water on Good Friday. So it was Good Friday, good water.
Wow.
So I started my water. I feel the difference on this water. When you take it, it passes through your gut and you hear that there's something you put. It's amazing, honestly. I want to ask you, Rilo, you said it's after up to 3 years. Is it up to 3 years or?
Yeah. The calcium, the minerals, because it's actually, it's actually a stone. It's a dolomite stone. It lasts 3 years. So obviously, if it's not used, it will probably last a bit longer. But as long as you're using it, it will last about 3 years.
Okay, because
Yeah.
me, when I overheard the person, when she was telling me, she said it's lifetime. I don't know which one is
Yeah, the
lifetime.
the magnet is more, it's, even though it's 30 years, it's kind of lifetime, right? But the minerals will be used up, and so yeah, that one will
So,
be every
so we
three
have to
years.
change it every 3 years.
Yeah, roughly about every 3 years. You'll see, because you'll see inside if there's, the stone. You'll see if it's if it's worn out completely. But yeah, about three years. Some people say it can last up to 5, but I'm like, hey, 3 years is no big deal, right? I don't mind getting a new one 3 years later. It's not like it's expensive. So yeah,
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
all right. Thank you so much. I'm
yeah.
enjoying. I can't say the testimony yet until uh I check up with my GP because I'm a diabetic. So I want to see
Oh,
this
wow.
out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to get some feedback. Yeah,
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
yeah. You're welcome.
Friday, good
Awesome.
water. Thank you.
Yes. Good stuff. Yeah, fantastic. So thanks for that. Thanks for that sharing. And I think, for those who've not tried it, people who do not like myself, like Harold's friend there, the lady that was at the hospital, she doesn't drink water and yet she wants to go back for a second glass. And I've seen it happen for, in front of my eyes, for people who try it for the first time and they're like, yeah, give me another glass of that. So it
Yes.
is absolutely refreshing. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, it is because today I carry 2 bottles. I've got a friend and she just diagnosed with cancer. So I said,
wow.
there's water which I want to introduce you to try. So today I carry a bottle.
Right.
I keep a cup Then she tasted. She says, "No, this water is different from another water." Then this evening, because it was too much, which I carried 2 containers, he says,
Yeah.
"No, no, give me that one which you are taking back home." I said, "Okay, I'll give you." So hopefully
Yeah.
she do the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. Yeah, follow
Yeah.
up with her in a couple of days. She'll probably reach out to you and then let you know. So
Yes.
that's fantastic. So yeah, we've had so many people who the little sample and they've gone on to want the product, and you mentioned there being diabetic. We've had so many powerful testimonials of people who were even scheduled to get surgery done, and they didn't need to have it done in the end, so which was kind of mind-blowing. We've had doctors. There's a doctor in Italy, doctor in Nigeria that we know of who's doing phenomenal work with their patients, and the list goes on. So let me move that on. I need to update that. This is a really good, powerful testimony. I'll just get it on a bit. This is a gentleman here had really bad excuse me, issue with his foot, with his diabetes. I don't know what happened there, but I know I had an auntie, unfortunately, she had to have her leg amputated, and it was really bad, his condition. And so when you see, and obviously that was this Timol product, how it looked back then, and you can see how the healing took place on his foot. So it's been pretty amazing on such a severe, and trust me, my auntie's foot was nowhere as bad as that, and she was in London, so I believe she would have had maybe a better outcome had I known about this product back then, but you never know. But I'm just saying this for it to do what it's doing out there is phenomenal, and the fact that it tastes nice is an added benefit, right? It makes your water taste nicer. Obviously animals, pets, they drink water too, so there's testimonials for animals. But this one thing I really find amazing is that you have farmers who obviously got big fields of crops they're planting, to have their production go up I was told it was from up to 40% in more production. I find absolutely staggering. And in cows, producing more milk. I mean, it's incredible, my friend. So, that is why I think this is absolutely such a game changer. And it literally is something that everybody, I feel, whether they're drinking tap water, or they, we ideally recommend you have some, better water that you're putting the product into, so that you're not dealing with the harshness. We heard about we know the water is very hard in London and here, same thing. So getting bottled water or filtered water and adding the product to it, you're going to see the benefits without a doubt. So we're literally talking about helping people transform their life with Timol. So it's one thing we know, people getting healthier, living longer, even though there's scores, as we know, of people. We heard it on the call. I know of people who are battling cancer. And just to talk about Harold's point there, there was a lady at our church, and she, praise God, had overcome cancer, but she still struggles, and and with constipation, and I gave her a sample, a simple sample bottle, gave it to her, and one thing she noticed was movement. And normally she was saying she has to get something in order for her to be able to relieve the constipation. She has to take some product. And I'd rather her not having to take something. You don't know what's in some of these products, right? You read the labels and it's like, oh my gosh, So I'd rather give her just plain water that can do the same thing without all of the unknown effects, right, on the body. And so this is truly something that, for me, it goes way beyond money, on how much we're making and things of that nature. It's really us making an impact out there. And so, but I'm going to be talking about money as I close out on a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday, so it's a Money Monday. So I'm going to touch on how you potentially could make money by locking arms with us, by sharing this with people that you know, like and trust, and that ripple effect, because it was that ripple effect from Simone, and then Simone sharing it with people in the UK, and then Glenn reaching out to me, and me reaching out to Harold, and Harold reaching out. It's that ripple effect. So essentially, so many lives are being affected. I didn't know Sharon prior to this program, and many other people, but we all now have a story, and in such a short period of time. We're not necessarily saying 90 days later, though we don't know how the body's going to react to it, but we're seeing that within 9 days, we're seeing that within 24 hours, we're seeing that within a weekend of people feeling something different. And if it's not the taste, then noticing a reaction. So I'm not seeing such a high impact product like this in all my days. So I'm going to touch briefly on the money part, because if you're living longer, you want to make sure you have that money to go with there. What did it say? Money's not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen, right? So we definitely want to have a good amount of that to go along with our good health, right? Especially our now Timol rejuvenated, magnetized health, right? So I'm going to talk about the 6 different ways we get paid here. I'm not going to elaborate because it's over an hour already, and I'm glad we've gone over the hour mark, because there were some fantastic testimonials that we shared. But I'm going to touch base on this, and for those of you who want to have a deeper dive into the compensation model, get back to whoever's invited you. But we have a great product, and if you've got a great product, you need it forms a great business by default. Okay, so as you would probably agree with me, magnetized water is essential for our health, whether you tried it or not, and everyone needs it. It's a product of prime necessity. I didn't know how much I needed it until I needed it. Well, now I've got it, no one's taking it from me, trust me. So we got 2 different models and ways in which we can get paid. We get paid in six different formats. We have one which is team building, which is, if you share it with friends and family, and you don't necessarily need to be, all right, I'm going to be setting up as a business man or woman. You just share the product, and if people come back to you, say, you know what, I really like that product. You might not even be in the business, but then you just start to share it. I mean, for me, I wasn't even in the business, and I was sharing it with people, and they went and got the product because they were in so much pain. The first person I ever helped, I would say, helped with the product, not anything else, because their body and everything else was, God took it from there. But I made that introduction to this lady, to Natalia, and she was suffering with sciatica pain. She could barely walk up to her bedroom, she was telling me, because the pain was so bad. And then she calls me and tells me, Leroy, that water bad, which I know means good, right? So that for me was the first person to tell me how it's good. I wasn't even in the business, so it wasn't even about the money at that point. And then now that I know about the business, I know there's, I can talk about the money, but it was all about the product. And if the product was no good, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. So I just want to make that really clear. So team building is one aspect. Direct sales is another aspect. Now, there's really good options in both of them. Okay, so if you're looking to make part-time, spare time, full-time income, there's something here for you. This is a product, my friends. I'll tell you right now, we are not even scratched the scratch of the scratch in penetration of this company and this business. It's been mainly in Brazil for the past 18 odd years, well, 22 years now in total, and it's barely known about anywhere, even in Brazil. There's not even 100,000 distributors in Brazil, right? So it is I think it's a sleeping giant, absolutely sleeping giant. So what better business could you have that on a product that everybody needs? Everybody drinks water, right? So the traditional business, you have your, this is the chain, lots of people getting paid in between, from the company that creates it down to you. We cut all that out. We deal directly with the company, and your customers deal directly with you. So this is a different model. They use a franchise model where you set up as a franchisee and you deal directly with your customers, and all good. Yeah. So you keep the profits, and the profits here are pretty good, my friends. Probably the best profit margins Not probably, it's 100% the best profit margins I've seen in any product I've dealt with in decades of doing direct sales. So I'm just going to give you a quick example here. Just share, if you was to share this with 2 people a day. Now I'm not talking you're doing a Zoom meeting and you're going through the slides and all this. No. I'm talking about you sharing a video, maybe a 5-minute intro video about the product, about how it all works, and they're interested to find out more. And you sent that out to 2 people a day. You did it in the AM. You sat down, you had a cup of tea, and then you went back out there and went online or sent a message or phoned up somebody and say, have you heard of or we might want to check this out, watch this video. And you sent it to somebody else in the evening. If you did that for the whole month, you've exposed the business to 40 people. And I'm just going to give you a very quick scenario how the numbers could look with one product, the mega combo product. Okay, so after you sell, if you sell 5 or more of these, purchase 5 or more because you've got customers who want it, you're now getting a €180 markup, that you're making per product. Okay, so let's say you sold 1 a week. Your goal was to make 1 sale a week, and you did it, and you would end up at the end of that month banking €720. So you have to do the conversion in pounds, dollars, wherever you are in the world, and there's some differences there based on where your franchisee lives and where they're located, because sometimes it's in US dollars and sometimes it's in euros, so it just depends. I think so that I don't forget, I did see somebody ask how much is the product. Please get back to whoever's invited you, because based on where they are, there is slight differences on the price, but it's not expensive. That's all I can tell you. It's not expensive. If you did 3 in a week, okay, so you sold 3 in a week out of those people that you've been sharing it with, for the month you would end up with €2,160. Now I don't know what $720 is going to do for you. It could take a car payment, right? It could deal with some other things you're paying down on. It could pay down a card, pay down a loan. I don't know. But $720 you can start to put down to something, or you can invest in something. If you're into crypto, if you're into stocks, for €720 a month, coming into buying your favorite meme coin, who knows? Anyway, if you did 3 of these in a week, over $2,000, now you've got a bit more to play with. Now you might be looking at maybe even paying your rent with this money, helping pay down on your mortgage with this money. And if you did 5 in a week, 3,600. This is just one way of making money, my friends. 3,600. Again, some people aren't even making that in a month, and they're out there doing a good solid every single day. Now, we have a referral program. Once you are a franchisee, anywhere from €80 all the way up to €322 anytime somebody decides to come on board and join you and join us, because it's we're doing this together. We're making an impact together. So that's how that works. We have a quick start bonus. You get started in the first 45 days and you share it with somebody, and then those people share it with somebody, they release a bonus. I'm going to go into all of that right now. There's also more bonuses. You go at leadership levels from leader rank all the way to black diamond, where anywhere in between that there's trips, there's devices, you win cars, cruise, but the points get converted and you can convert those into cash as you so wish. We have what we call a binary bonus, so we're building 2 teams, a team on the left, team on the right, just like in those pictures, one on the left, one on the right, but these ones will pay you based on the volume that's going through those teams. You could only maybe you may only know 2 people, but yet you can still end up with hundreds or there are thousands of people that you would never get to meet, and you still get paid on them regardless. This is really how the rich become rich, because they have leverage working for them, whereas most people that earn money, they only earn money in a linear fashion. Money paid for that hour, and if they go to sleep, they're not earning any money. They wake up and they have to do the same thing again. So once you start building an infrastructure, you'll start getting paid regardless of where that person is, and you didn't have nothing to do with it because they're now out of your remit. And that's one way you get paid. And we have what we call a uni-level bonus. These are uni-level on people you've personally introduced, but binary, it could be through anybody that's been introduced after your initial 2 people. Okay, so the uni-level bonus, this is again what we call residual income. You know, my cousin is a musician. Every quarter, even for work he did many years ago, he still gets that royalty check, boom, once a quarter. Now this is great. We start this today, and a year from now, 2 years from now, people are buying the product, and you get a clipping of that. You may look small, $2 every product being sold. This is just one product, by the way, we're talking about. One product being sold. If you've got enough network distribution going on because you shared it with a couple of people and they've now shared it, and now you've got business that's expanded, that now becomes a sizable income. That can be a sizable income of, you know, maybe an extra $500 to add on to whatever you're making direct sales wise, as well as the bonuses I just shared just before. And then when you get big enough, like Simone has people who she knows have been doing this a lot longer and have thousands of people. She earns a clip of thousands of people every time they order the product. Okay, so it's big business. Okay, so to be a franchisee, again, it's different based on the market you're in. If you're in North America or if you're in the UK, different pricing. But in euros, 840 euros for the silver. That does come with the mega product that I spoke about. You can retail that and offset some of your cost. The gold is a combination of the mini and the mega. So again, you've got 2 products you can obviously retail to bring your cost down, but obviously you do want to start testing it for yourself, using it for yourself. And the platinum, you can scale up to that. That just gives you more bonuses in the compensation plan, and you can go from one level to the other, use some profit and upscale yourself. You know, that's you investing back in your business. So my friends, as I mentioned, there's many ways we have that we can earn from this. And you know, all the bonuses, benefits that you can imagine, this company has at your disposal, and you can use that instead of the physical item, you can convert those points into cash. All right, so with that said, I think we are, let me see how the time is now. It's hour and 15 in. I will leave it there. Let me stop the record, let's stop the share, and just say thank you very much for your time on the call tonight. I hope, if anything, this has been informative, and hopefully a bit of education thrown in there. And if you laughed at my jokes, then me and you are friends for life. I want to thank the guests who came on, shared their testimonial, Harold, Sharon, and Glenn. Thanks, and I forget the lady who she's got, from Canada. Is from Canada, so you're gonna throw something at the screen. So thanks everybody for sharing on the call tonight. We do this again on Mondays and Thursdays, same time, same channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, we're just so excited to have you on, because this information is truly life-changing. This product has made such a major difference. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one. So take care and God bless. See you later, guys.